Tomorrow, all eyes will be on South Carolina's first congressional district. That's where Congresswoman Nancy Mace, a Republican, is facing off against two Republican primary challengers. Now, you might remember Donald Trump targeted Nancy Mace for defeat in her primary 2 years ago, in 2022. But since then, Congresswoman Mace has ingratiated herself with President Trump, and President Trump is now backing her. But the congressional district poses an interesting situation for Republicans, as it is centered around Charleston County, where former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley beat Donald Trump in the February presidential primary. Haley won by more than 20 percentage points in Charleston County, South Carolina. In the final weeks of the campaign, Mace is zeroing in on one of her primary opponents, specifically a woman named Catherine Templeton. Templeton has earned the endorsement of former Speaker of the House Newt Gingrich, the backing of some of the aligned allies of former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. She may win enough votes to stop Mace from clinching 50% in tomorrow's primary, which would force a runoff. And she joins us now. Catherine Templeton, thanks so much and welcome to The Lead. So let me ask you, you're a Trump supporter. Obviously, President Trump endorsed your opponent, Nancy Mace. Today, he posted on Truth Social, quote, Congresswoman Nancy Mace has my complete and total endorsement, with an exclamation point. How much do you think his endorsement matters in this district, given the fact that Nikki Haley did beat Trump in the primary in Charleston County?
You know, the people of this district support President Trump, as do I. But the people of this district are very independent. We know that we can vote for President Trump and also vote for Catherine Templeton. This is not a race about President Trump. It's a race about replacing Nancy Mace. I mean, the first time that Nancy Mace went up to Washington, the small county parties wrote reprimand letters to her because she had President Trump's endorsement and his support, and then she completely left him. You know, she left Nikki Haley when Nikki Haley endorsed her. She left Kevin McCarthy when Kevin McCarthy endorsed her. You know, she's not loyal to anybody. So the people of our district know that. We've watched it for the past 3 years.
You and Congresswoman Mace are both conservatives. You are similar on many policy issues. For example, you both want to secure the border. You both want to finish the border wall. There are some differences, obviously. One of them is when it comes to abortion, which we were just discussing in the last segment. Congresswoman Mace supports a ban on abortion with exceptions for the life of the mother and in cases of rape and incest. Now, you say you are 100% pro-life. Where are you on exceptions for victims of rape and incest?
So first, Jake, I take a little bit of exception with the fact that we're both conservative. I'm completely conservative. I am pro-life, and I do make room for all exceptions since Roe versus Wade. The difference, though, between Nancy Mace and I is that I've actually done something to secure the border, or at least crack down on sanctuary cities here in South Carolina. During the presidential, when they were talking about the toughest immigration law in the nation, that's a law that I authored as the labor secretary here. That's why we don't have sanctuary cities in South Carolina. Whereas Nancy Mace has voted against money to the wall, against more border agents, and not shown up for some of our votes.
The Washington Post reported last week that Congresswoman Mace might be violating a new House program that allows House members to seek reimbursements for lodging costs in Washington, D.C. In 2023, Congresswoman Mace expensed an average of $2,300 a month in costs. She'd been told by her office staff, we are told, it's been reported by the Post, that she could not be reimbursed more than $1,800 a month. Now, Congresswoman Mace denies any wrongdoing, has attacked the story, says it's not true. She's also attacking you and accusing you of misusing taxpayer funds, saying you have a history of controversial decisions when you were in state government that led to costing taxpayers $1.2 million in settlements and legal fees. What's your response and your take on this issue?
Well, it's pretty simple. I mean, you know, Mace was talking about or apologizing to our district for failing to give about $1 million in constituent services a couple weeks ago, yet she took plenty of time to make sure she could self-deal. I'm not sure what her allegations are against me, other than we did have lawsuits when we got rid of 1 in 4 bureaucrats, $68 million in wasteful spending. And, you know, sometimes when you get rid of bureaucracy, people squeal. I don't apologize for that, for sure. But most importantly, my service was to the state and the taxpayers. Her service is to herself and fleecing the taxpayers, taking our dollars and lining her pockets. I mean, look, Jake, this is the best job she'll ever have. My last job was as president of U.S. Brick, which is a $100 million privately held American company that we built with 2 other partners. this is not the coolest job I'll ever have. It's the most important job I'll ever have. And so I'm not desperately seeking to hold on to it like Nancy Mace is.
Catherine Templeton, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
We also invited Congresswoman Mace on, and she was unable to join us. She's welcome here on The Lead anytime, as I know she knows.